Warning, may cause extreme student engagement.
Welcome to the Digital Dish,
your go-to podcast for all things tech and education.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to the Digital Dish podcast.
Woohoo!
You.
I'm Allie, the jargon translator and your EdTech coach.
Okay. I'm Katie, your running vacation aficionado and director of EdTech at West Hill.
And we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm just your average social studies teacher.
Meh. So not true. Why would you say that about yourself?
Because I get a slice of humble pie every single day with the kids I teach.
Do you have an example that happened recently?
I could tell you about yesterday how I could only speak for 1 minute at a time before being interrupted by a giggle, a laugh, a snort. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't miss those.
It's where we're at in the year. It's all good. It's all
Like
good.
you're not important enough for them to actually listen to.
Exactly. Just your average teacher.
Were you like that in high school?
No.
You're a good kid.
Here and there. It depends on how deep we want to go.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if we have time for that today.
Yeah.
But off air, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. So, Allie, why are you the jargon translator?
So I had a friend of mine that I used to teach with text me randomly. So to put her district is now currently doing the 2-factor authentication for their Google accounts. And she asked me to explain it to her in idiot-proof terms. Just random, like, no hi, no how are you, just screenshot, explain this to me. And I was like, hi. And then going forward from there. So I was able to explain it to her, but apparently I'm the jargon translator.
People do funny things.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be nice to have you as a friend because I do that to my brother all the time. I'm like, what does this mean? Some sort of legal notice. I'm like, what does this mean? Someone translate.
Does he say Google it? Because that's what I do to my mom.
No, he's actually really nice. But the thing is, he takes it and he'll spend an hour explaining.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, no, he's great. But
I think my mom would like that if I did.
We need to connect.
Yeah. Yes. Can your brother be my mom's go-to person? That'd be amazing. Okay, so what do we have going
Wait a second,
on?
though. Running vacation aficionado.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the only time we ever go on vacation is if there's a running race involved. And let me tell you, I'm excited, but also like, where's my all-inclusive resort on the beach?
Fair.
But also, we are kind of going to a beach this summer, or May, that doesn't have anything to do with the race. But of course, he's like, is there a race when we're going to be down there? Like, Googling
Where's
it.
the 5Ks?
Yeah, where's the 5Ks? Where's the half marathon? But yeah, we're going to Virginia Beach this weekend for their St. Patrick's Day race festivities. So there's an 8K on Saturday that I'm doing, and then everyone else that I know is doing the half marathon.
Wow, way to go. 8K, though.
These are the type of friends I have.
But that's awesome.
Ew. That's all we ever do.
I hope they're hearing this.
I know, right? They're not. They don't care about me.
Oh,
That's true. They make you run. They're keeping you
know they
healthy.
do.
Matter of fact, they want to keep you around for a long time.
I guess so. I guess we could look at it that way. Well, so this podcast is mostly for educators, but if you like to hear us giggle, then it's for
anybody. So one of the appetizers, if you will, of something that I saw when I was walking through the high school this morning was that in the tech hallway, they have posters from the students about Women's History Month. And specific women like Ada Lovelace, who is considered the mother of code, which is awesome. Gladys Mae West, who is really the creator of the GPS, which is fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Women are everything.
100%.
Becca, I heard you talking about a woman today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so at the middle school, they have a similar hallway that talks about local women who have made an impact on our community. One of them, which she was also there for the Black History Month honorees, Jeanette Epps, who is an astronaut an African American astronaut from Syracuse, which is pretty amazing.
Ooh,
That is so cool.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Shout out to all the women leaders out there,
Heck yeah.
Way to go.
blazing the trails.
Absolutely.
Breaking those ceilings.
Yeah. So today we've been trying to do this topic rotation. So today our main topic is AI, but we're going to be talking about some cool things underneath that umbrella that absolutely will save you time. So if you are a teacher listening to this, we're going to talk to Becca. That's why she's here. Holla.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Becca about how she is using AI this week to save lots and lots of time. But I'm going to have Allie go first.
Okay, if you're sure. So Magic School AI actually put out pretty recently that you can customize tools, like create new customized tools to use instead of just the 60 that they have on there. So you take an existing tool and customize it to the way that you wanted to create your own tool. I thought it was pretty cool.
That is cool. Can you give me an example?
So I did one it was a choice board organizer today. And so I kind of changed things around a little bit and added, of course, AI. But I was able to create a 7th grade computer science choice board. Well, AI did it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I facilitated.
You told AI to do it.
I told AI to do
You're
it.
the boss. That's so cool.
So to clarify, I'm interested. So this makes it like student-facing materials for a teacher?
Absolutely.
Or both? Like students make this student-facing?
So this particular tool is what, like, so say if I wanted to go in and be like, I want 5th grade social studies or 10th grade science or anything along those lines, I could put in separate parameters to make it a better choice board, to where I can give it to a student facing to have them do a choice board instead of creating one by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so once it creates the choice board for you, I'm assuming it's just in text format.
Mm-hmm.
So then what do you do with it after that?
So I know that you can download it, of course, but also copy and paste it into something to put it into your Google Classroom. And there's also student rooms that you can put stuff like that into in Magic School.
That's cool. So I guess what you could do is take the choice board and put it in a Google slide deck and then have it be like choose your own adventure and select the choice to go to a different slide to have that like video or
Absolutely.
instructions or something.
Absolutely. Or have it everything linked and maybe do it in Canva.
Oh, Canva would be good too.
I'm such a Google Doc girl. Like I would just slap it on a Google Doc and be like, make your choice. But then to have to like remove that mental load of coming up with all the different ways that you could learn the same thing.
Yes.
Ugh,
I know,
sounds
right?
like a delight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And putting the choice in the student's hands. Like
Yeah.
that's a huge.
Yeah.
The brain likes choice. We know that based on all the research out there on brain activity.
Activity.
Amateur. I'm bringing it back. Okay, so this is the main event here. We've got Becca, the heavyweight social studies teacher. Yeah.
That's what I should have said.
Yeah, that's now you are being referred to that from now on, from this point forth. So I was like looking at Pear Assessment last week, and an English teacher actually had asked me, well, I want to use this other tool to grade writing for me or to help me grade writing. And I said, well, that tool is not going to do that, but Pear Assessment will. So we created a writing task, and I used the rubric from the New York State ELA 8th grade exam, and I popped it into Pear Assessment. And then I was thinking, well, social studies teachers could use this too.
100%.
So do you want to take it from there and talk about like what you
Sure.
did?
Sure. Yeah. So if anyone is a social studies teacher out there, you know that we 9th and 10th grade students and eventually 11th grade, there's some layover. Their essays that they write are called enduring issue essays. The prompts are always pretty much exactly the same, and the students have to choose 3 out of 5 documents, and then they write about it. And we use pretty much the same rubric for all of these essays through 9th and 10th grade. And by uploading it into Pear Assessment and making the prompt this essay and giving the whole rubric, it was able to grade my kids like very particularly. I'm trying to think. I should have pulled up. You know what? Maybe I can pull it up really quick. Some of the feedback, like the proposed feedback that it had given.
So when you attach, and I'll just explain this for people who are
Yes.
listening, when
Yes.
you attach a rubric to a writing item, it's like a question or an item, then you have the option to have Pear Assessment auto-evaluate the writing based on the rubric and the standards you give it. So you can attach standards to the writing question, or you can attach standards to the individual criteria in the rubric. And that helps when you have the criteria in the rubric and the standards attached. That gives the AI tool enough information to be able to give really good first line of defense feedback. Like, this is your first reader as a teacher, kind of like when you're assessing for the state, when you're reading tests,
exams,
you've got to
yeah.
have a back
Two readers.
second reader, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is your first reader, and it does most of the legwork for you, and you can still read the writing. Obviously, you want to do that as a teacher. You want to get to know your kids in their writing style, but then you can take a look at the feedback it gave and modify it, delete it, add to it, change it, and it auto-evaluates on the rubric as well. It gives it the 3, 2, 1, 4.
Yeah. And then the feedback itself was just, it talked about how you have to address how, like, the enduring issue evolves or stays the same over time. And it basically wrote a sentence for each of the 6 parts of the rubric. And I just was, like, mind blown, because it's so much more complicated if you were to use any other AI tool. Based off of what little bit of knowledge I have.
Yeah, and how long did it take you to create that writing task in Pear Assessment?
Well, I literally copied and pasted it from the Regents exams, so that was 30 seconds. And then creating the rubric was just a little bit longer, but it's just like creating a rubric in Google Classroom. It was the exact same process. So I literally just had to copy and paste from my rubric that I typically use into.
Yeah.
So overall, it was really quick.
So, and you gave the assignment to kids this week?
Yes, except I keep forgetting to have them resubmit so that I can do all of them. We've had one trial, but we're in the middle of, like, this crazy project right now that, of course, I chose to do, But so I keep forgetting to have them resubmit it. But overall, I'm truly blown away by the speed. And the one thing I will say for people who want to use this is just make sure to remember, before you push your test out or publish it, to click that AI.
It's the
grading.
auto evaluation
Yes.
with the AI assisted rubric. Yeah, it's underneath the student. Like, when you're looking at your settings in your test or your assignment, it's right underneath the student portion. It's just like a little bit down from there.
Yeah. Easy to miss, but also it's going to save you so much time.
So much time.
Like, I think I was telling someone, like, it might take me 10 to 20 hours to grade 2 classes worth of essays, because I'm really annoying about it. And, like, leave a lot of comments because they're 9th graders. They got to learn,
Yeah. Feedback is important.
It is.
For growth.
Is. And I think, like, this probably would cut it down to maybe 4 hours if I had to guess.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, my brain is just...
Right. Like, as teachers who have very little time to begin with. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited to see how that progresses here.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
I'm kind of wondering too, like, how their feedback is compared to, like, the feedback that you would give them or have given them in the past too.
So the way that I've done it in the past was on Google Classroom, so I could leave comments on all their docs and just say, like, this looks great, or maybe change this sentence or reword this. Whereas I think this would just have to go into, like, the comment section when you grade. The wording that they give is way more, like, a professional. I'm like, hey, this is really awesome. I love what you did here, but maybe make a change there, Whereas this is a little bit more like, you really addressed with a lot of strength these portions, but you lacked, like, it was weaker when you
evidence
addressed.
or
yes.
Yeah. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, this is great for teachers who have a hard time being objective when they're grading students' writing. And that hit home for me as a former English teacher, because if a kid really angered me that week and was, like, acting out, it was really difficult for me to remain objective when I was great. I shouldn't say he. There were females too. But, it's very hard to remain objective sometimes when you're grading a kid's writing, because it is so subjective.
Yeah. Or you're like, oh my gosh, they've developed so much, and you, like, want to give them
extra
more
points.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, no, but in reality,
they didn't hit the mark, right?
Yeah.
Right. And because it's all standards aligned, you're making sure that they're hitting the skills and not, like, whatever fabrication that we put up into our brains about like how kids should be graded, you know? So.
Yeah.
There's no fade.
Aww.
Yay.
Yay, woohoo. Thank you to Becca. We had a little snafu.
We did. The batteries died on our podcast equipment.
Whoops.
So we let her go back to class, and we're just finishing up.
Yes. Thank you to Becca for coming on. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you. I love working with Becca. She has such a positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, what do we have coming up? Anything good?
I mean, lots of great PD stuff. Just, reach out if anybody has any questions or little inklings or anything like that.
I have, for those of you in the West Hill District that are listening, there's probably not that many of you, but that's okay. Becca did admit that she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yet.
Maybe she will. She's like, so she goes, well, if you were on Spotify, I'm like, girl, we are on Spotify, FYI. So, yeah. What was I saying?
PD in West Hill.
Oh, yeah. I have an appointment calendar. So if you want to work with me one-on-one or small group or whatever, my appointment calendar, if you go to it in my signature, you can see all of the free time I have and then pick one that works for you.
And I am in the district every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Tuesdays with Allie.
Yeah, absolutely. Woohoo.
That will be my next book. Tuesdays with Maury, Tuesdays with Allie. Sorry, Maxwell.
So where else to find us, though? We do have a website. It's bit.ly/digitaldishpod.
Mm-hmm. And we are on, as we mentioned, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, which we've had 0 listens since the inception of the Apple Podcast portion of our stuff. Yeah, and you can see me in the halls wandering around sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everybody.
The next episode, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little tease. Google and Chromebook accessibility options.
Yes. I have lots of fun updates about that.
Woo-hoo.
Lots of tips and tricks. So hopefully you'll tune in and learn more about how you can support your kids and your students.
And if you guys need anything, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
one.